Evening all. What a week we've had already. What an extraordinary Champions League final in prospect. Chelsea and Manchester United are going to Moscow. Can Rangers make it to Manchester? They know the score to Rangers. 0-0 at home, works well, and then do the business again away from home. Fiorentina, who knocked Everton out on penalties, are formidable opponents, particularly at the Artemio Franchi. We will build up to that game throughout the evening. Kick-off is at 7:45. The Rangers fans are, as you'd expect, in high spirits in Florence. Can Lisbon be repeated? A first European final in a generation for these boys is close. Before Walter Smith's boys play in Florence, we have the rising stars of the tournament, Zenit St. Petersburg, who drew 1-1 with Bayern Munich in Germany last week. That second leg kicks off in 15 minutes. Final. Rangers against Fiorentina, our second semi-final, second leg tonight. They are at the Artemio Franchi, as you can see. The Rangers boys hoping for another fantastic away day special. They kick off at 7:45 in Florence. Part of our commentary team there this evening, Jim Beglin, who joins us from the ground now. Jim, what's your gut feeling for Rangers? Positive?
Yeah, well, the important thing, Matt, is that Rangers believe in what they've been doing. I mean, it's almost Groundhog Day. They're happy to take the 0-0 at home, knowing that they're capable of going on the road and scoring. The way they play, that system is very hard to break down. And I think they'll be looking for the same thing again tonight. This is a very partisan, passionate crowd here. And I know it's a bit of a cliche, we use it a lot, but away from home tonight for Rangers, I think it really is imperative to keep it very, very tight for the opening 20. Keep them out. And I think this crowd could really get frustrated.
Yeah, and physically you can see obviously signs of the toil at the end of what's been an extraordinary season for Rangers. They don't want to run the legs off too early either.
Yeah, I think Walter Smith obviously is going to be very aware of that, and I think that will probably come into play second half. I went to the Old Firm game on Sunday. Rangers put Celtic very close, but there were signs in the second half of that game that one or two were beginning to tire. It's going to take a toll, but this occasion is so important that I think it'll be at the back of the players' minds, and it's great to have people like Davy Weir in the dressing room, who says, you know, in his whole career, he won the Scottish Cup 10 years ago at Hearts, won the CIS Cup this season. He's having the time of his life chasing trophies, and when you hear him talking things up like that, forget about the fatigue.
Thank you very much, Jim. We'll hear more from Jim Beglin later as kick-off approaches in Florence. 7:45 the kick-off. Rangers at Fiorentina, hoping to get themselves to Manchester. Maybe there's hope yet for Progrebniak. So, Zenit through to the final. Will it be Rangers or Fiorentina who join them? That match is live from Florence. It's coming up shortly. Welcome back. 90 minutes from Manchester. Can Rangers finish off Fiorentina and clinch a place in the UEFA Cup final? 0-0 at Ibrox in the first leg, but no need to despair. They've done that twice before this season and gone through each time. In Greece, Panathinaikos were put to the sword.
Oh, terrific goal!
In the quarters, they went to Portugal and sorted Sporting.
Dodgeville! Stephen Whittaker! They have seized the day!
Can they now do an Italian job in Florence and see off Fiorentina? If you've just joined us, kick-off at 7:45. Our team here in the studio this evening, Andy Townsend and Robbie Earle on hand, of course, as always. Without further ado, let's get the Rangers team news tonight. Ned Bolting is in Florence.
Well, when Everton visited here, they stayed in a city centre hotel. Walter Smith has secluded his team away in a country resort so they can focus on their big task in hand. Look, they've done it before, containing in the first leg and then doing the job away from home in the second leg. And they've picked 11 players who've done precisely that before. None more important than David Weir, who's shaken off that injury, and he starts alongside Carlos Cuellar. Captain Barry Ferguson and Kevin Thompson return from suspension. Stephen Davis too has shaken off a knock, and Jean-Claude Darcheville ploughs his tireless furrow alone up top. Fiorentina's team has a settled look to it. Donadel is preferred to Kuzmanovic behind a three-man front line featuring that man, Adrian Mutu. Well, here, pitch side alongside me, is a former Fiorentina player, 2 seasons here, and a Rangers legend, Lorenzo Amoruso. Lorenzo, what do you make of tonight? How do you see it going?
Well, first of all, look at the stadium. It's fantastic. I think a team like Fiorentina, which was away from this competition for a long time, tonight has a chance to get through an important final. So for Rangers, because to prove themselves and other people that they are very good club, good teams, and good luck for both of them, because they really deserve to go in the final.
When Fiorentina turn it on, particularly at home, they are a hell of a team, aren't they?
Well, I have to say, yeah, they like to play. They're quite quick. They can really put under pressure any kind of team. But one player above everyone can make a very big difference. That's Adrian Muto. Adrian Muto is a kind of player that can really change the pace, can change the face of any kind of game. It's been like that in the past, and I think even tonight probably he's got a chance to do it.
In one word, Lorenzo, are you a Rangers fan or Fiorentina fan tonight?
I'm 50-50, I'm sorry.
Thanks very much, Lorenzo.
You're welcome.
They do love him. Back at Rangers, Lorenzo Amoruso, former teammate of Ali McCoist. No great surprise, I don't think, in the Rangers team selection, but you've actually spotted how many are on yellow cards, particularly in the Fiorentina lineup, which could be a factor.
Yeah, I mean, Papac has got to be careful tonight for Rangers on a yellow. They've got 5 and 2 centre-halves. So you'd like to think Darshfield, with the pace that he's got, with the way that he's played, particularly away from home in the matches that we've watched recently, where he's always an outball and he's a threat, if you get a chance tonight, you must run at Gambarini and Ufolushi. The 2 guys there will be tiptoeing around Matt, the edge of their 18-yard box. They'll be afraid to put a foot in, so get at them and commit them.
Equally, I would think Barry Ferguson and perhaps a couple of others in the midfield. Barry Ferguson, who of course missed a game through suspension in Florence, in Lisbon. It's about ball retention as well, isn't it? At times tonight?
And it's important. You know, there was no Ferguson in the first game through that yellow card, but now they've got to hold the ball there, keep the ball, frustrate the fans, frustrate Florence as a team, and then when they get a chance, you've got to nick that goal. They need Dartfield to take the 1 or 2 chances that come, and it's one of those. It'll be defending it and hanging on.
Fingers crossed. Zenit St Petersburg are going to Manchester. Can Rangers make it, or will Fiorentina deny them? Live coverage from the Stadio Artemio Franchi of the second leg of this UEFA Cup semi-final coming up.